Hello everyone, if you please can sit, we will start in 1 minute.
Vale. Tenim aigua? Ens han portat aigua? Sí.
Sí. Hello everyone and welcome back to this afternoon to enjoy a group of sessions. We will be talking this afternoon about the economical situation of the new space.
Correct.
And Mikel will be introducing the first speaker.
Yeah, actually we will continue this first day of the New Space Economy Congress 2023 with the business afternoon, as I said. And now we have a first speech called PERTE Aeroespacial Atlantic Constellation. Just to give a little bit of context, the aerospace PERTE is the strategic project for the economic recovery and transformation of the aerospace sector. And this is, here in Spain, the biggest initiative to modernize and project the industrial, academic, and institutional capabilities in the field of aeronautics and space. One of the main initiatives of the PERTE is the recent creations of the Spanish Space Agency. And this talk will also focus at the end on the Atlantic Earth Observation Constellation, which is a Portuguese-Spanish initiative. To talk about all these topics, we have the pleasure to count on Héctor Guerrero. He told me just say like a few things on what I'm doing, but there are a lot of things in his curriculum, so I will say Héctor is a university professor, entrepreneur, and space communicator. As a senior scientist of defense at INTA, he participated in projects such as NanoSat, Rosetta, and Mars exploration. He spent 4 years working on space policy and research at the European Commission, and he's currently directing the aerospace technical offices of the Space Commissioner for the Aeroespacial PERTE of the Ministry of Science. So please give Héctor a big applause.
Okay, thank you so much to the organization for inviting the Ministry of Science, Innovation and Universities. Since yesterday, we have the universities as well in our ministry. We didn't change the ministry, Diana Morant, so we are happy because we didn't have to make a lot of briefings for the new minister. Okay, what's happening that if we have the same minister is that space is still a critical and strategic element in the policy of the Ministry and of Spain. So I'm very happy of being here in the new space arena that I realized because there are only 2 ties in me and another guy there with a tie. So this is real new space. So I am an experimental physicist, so you need to take care about that. Organization asked me to have the talk in 20 minutes, so I will try to be tight on time. And the presentation will be open for all of you, so it's self-contained. You can access to all the links that are there. We are after the lunch, so Spain, the blood going to the stomach, and you will be sleepy, so don't mind. Doesn't matter. I'll try to be with different intonation just to transmit my best for you to enjoy. Speaking about figures, facts, and money. So no one is interested about that, I guess. So the contents of my presentation. First, why Spain is so heritageable in space. We need to have a look to the history. Second, since in this year we have a new institutional framework, the strategic project for aerospace and the Spanish Space Agency. And third, the organization wanted some slides about the Atlantic constellation. First, the heritage and vocation of our country. You know that in the 60s, when the Apollo program started, the Americans wanted to study the upper atmosphere because when the Gemini spacecraft will come back to the Earth with the astronaut, one astronaut in the Gemini, in the Mercury, so they didn't know how was the atmosphere. So they tried to set up different stations for launching rockets for the sounding the upper atmosphere. And one was in Spain, in El Arenosillo, where PLD launched a few weeks ago the Miura in a suborbital flight. Besides, they wanted to make tracking stations for all the launch after Cape Cañaveral. We had in Canary Island, 3 in the area of Madrid, and this tracking station continue still working for the Deep Space Network of NASA. So since the 60s, Spain and the United States made an agreement in that time, and this agreement was made by NASA and INTA. Okay? Spain is one of the founders of European Space Agency in the 1975, and is even we are having a critical center of ESA here. And besides, we launched in Arenosillo rockets till 300 kilometers, INTA 300 in the 70s. We had the Capricornio project, etc., what were solid propellant. And we were the 6th country in the world launching a satellite in the 1974. So we are a faring country to space. The figures in the sector are roughly 1,000 million for our industry. It's more upstream than downstream, so we are really happy for this new space adventure that here in Catalonia is starting with a strong, really strong. We are impressed, and this view of using space as well, and all these links to the entrepreneurs. So what is PERTE? The pandemic started, and this old-fashioned Europe with all the functionaries, in less than 1-2 months, they put an instrument, the next generation, close to 1 billion euros, to help the countries, the vaccines, etc., and with funds that Spain received a lot of money of that, more than 20% in grants, and now in the addenda, more than 80 million euros in loans. So we were really, in aerospace, we are really lucky in the sense that Spain decided 12 strategic areas, and one of these is aerospace. So the strategic project, it seems that these PERTEs will finish in August 2026. They will finish, we close space, we close aerospace, and to wait for another pandemic. Okay, no. This is just the beginning. We have an aerospace strategic view in the country to go there, to have an economy based on aeronautics, aviation, and space. So it's important, this event. It's one of the 12. The surface of these circles are proportional to the million euros we have. Aerospace is not that much big. It's not. It's a middle-sized star. Okay. And this is the trick. Only 30% of the funds come from Europe. The other 70% come from the general budget of the state. And that's what you can read this in the sense, okay, these people put in the 70% the ESA return, so this is not fair because we didn't put a lot of money from the country, from Europe there, etc. No. This is the guarantee that when the European funds will withdraw, we will continue because we said this is strategic and we make an umbrella. The PERTE is a political project with long-term view. This is the place where we study the new policies, where we study the new strategies, where we try to coordinate the other ministries, trying to look to be a aerospace-faring nation. We have 3 different axes, one for aeronautics, one for space, and one cross-cutting. and with different ideas in aeronautics, the zero emission, the drones, integration of drones in the cities, the sustainable alternative fuels for aviation in space. You see that fostering space entrepreneurship and new space. So from the very beginning definition of the PERTE, aerospace PERTE, we have here the new space and entrepreneurship. And the governance, if you have a country project means that all we are together. In the governance, we have not only the industry, not only the public bodies, as well all the ministries, and besides some international view, as we will see in the Atlantic constellation. We have 5 main line of actions in the aeronautic pillar, 6 on the space, and 7 of the cross-cutting. So in total, 18 action lines. I'm not going to review this. Normally in the morning we review the 18 because you are more awake. Okay, here we will review only the space one and the Tècnica Aeroespacial because it's related to this conference. One of these, the action 10, is related to the space agency. I will have some slides for that. And besides, you see in red below, we have 2 new actions, action 19 and action 20. Related to the addenda of the Spanish recovery plan that was approved 1 month ago by the Council of the European Union. This is the execution of the budget. We are the best PERTE, and the bad news is that we almost run out all the money. So we have a little money with the new addenda, but having a compromise of more than 90% in the funds is really important because other PERTEs are not so well structured areas like aerospace is, and they are having more issues, but we have more or less there. My mission is to give a full transparency to all the final destinataries of these funds. And my mission as well is to say to the public in any conference I go, etc., make me lobby. Make me lobby is backwards, the world backwards. Normally the industry comes to make lobby. I am here to make the industry, say the industry, make lobby on me. Why? Because aerospace will never evolve if we don't join different ministries thinking in the same way with the same target. And so as we are a small ministry, science, innovation, and universities, we need to be together with the other ministries of industry, defense, etc., to be all together thinking in the needs of the community. The standard way of doing things for the civil servants like me should be that we are transparent. You don't know that we exist. We solve the things and you make the work. We love to stay calm and quiet, okay? But not here giving you talks because we have visibility. So the idea is transparency, distribution of funds, and trying to get different funds for other areas of the economy that are not working so good as in space and aeronautics, bringing to us. We need to evolve as an aerospace economy in the future. The first real space actuation is the micro launcher. This is a public purchase managed by CDTI. There are 2 companies, PLD and Pangea. There are different approach. One is the full rocket, the other more related to the engine, different models, etc. They are in a competition, and after 3 months, only one will go to the next phase. The important thing of this is not only the launcher, is that we are in a huge crisis in Europe with launchers. Next year, maybe in the States, they will launch 1 rocket a day. In Europe, this year, only 2 or 3. What's happening? We have a failed model. In the last summit in Seville, the commissioner Thierry Breton said, that's not possible, that we are in this situation. Of course, we are going to continue with the traditional solution of based on Ariane 6, on Kourou, on the European spaceport. But we need more other spaceports in other areas of Europe. Maybe Canary Island is the best place in the sense that is in the tropic. but we need to invest on different launches, different solutions. Rockets in 20, 30 years' time will be like cars. The countries didn't invest only in one type of car, invested in different type of cars. This is the idea. Second, the ACT, I have 12 minutes here, and this is 5, so 17 minutes instead of 30. Okay. Well, NewSpace. The quantum communications will be, is open. There is one proposal for the geostationary solution and 2 proposals presented for the low Earth orbit solution. This Earth observation system, there is open one call related to remote sensing radar satellites or infrared visible. You can apply till December the 11th. As well, we have the contribution to ESA. This is important because we used to pay to ESA 240 million a year. And because we had an agency coming, we had the PERTE, in one minister council, the government said, okay, no, 240, no, 300. Of course, we need to increase to 400, 450. And this is because space now is in fashion. We need to be all here. And take care of one thing. To the politicians, every day they receive 200 suits to invest on one of them. If they see a small broken in a suit, they don't buy. So space, we need to be one in the full country for them to invest. If they see different ideas, they say, no. I'd rather the Armani one. Okay, so, well, the entrepreneurs. We are launching on December, in June, we made a big meeting in Madrid, in the ministry, for having some ideas about how you're going entrepreneurs in Spain, why our companies grow and are bought by foreigner agents, why our investors get all the rates, stocks, all the options from the poor entrepreneurs. So we need to make something just to make easier this way to people. And Invierte is one of the best instruments we have for that, but we need to think in big. Yeah, how to help all this community, because you are putting your life, your money, your time. So we need, as government, trying to help this situation. This is what people is waiting for. We have 70 million in the addenda. Now it will be the technological space program. This will be released by by January, at the beginning of January. The program should be finished. All the resolution will be finished by the end of 2024, and the project will last 2 years. One is for production, demonstrating production capacity for NewSpace. I know how to make this, and I last 4 months. Can you demonstrate that you make this in 1 week and you make 10 at the same time? This is the first line. Second line is this breakthrough technology that you are thinking for the future. Are you able to try to invest during 2 years to demonstrate that maybe in 15, 20 years' time, some of the leader space technology in the world will be one paid with this program? So thinking in long term, maturing the technology. As well, we have 270 million euros for loans, just to the companies for the production in airlines, in aerospace and space. Spanish Space Agency started as a consequence of the Spanish strategy for security. In the 7th of March, in the law of the science appear. And now, since March the 7th, we have the chart. And the idea is that we have all the different elements of the space activity in the country were split in many ministries, the industry, the academia, etc. So at least in the space policy, the public funding and the program, etc., will be unified thanks to the Spanish Space Agency. The headquarters is in Seville. There was a big call to 22 different sites were offered, but Seville offered this big building, is the CREA building, and is now the headquarters. And we are trying to put people there. This is the organigram of the chart. We have a director. The director is Miguel Bello, is my boss, as he's the commissioner for the PERTE. Besides, he's the director of the agency. There are 4 different directorates. And more or less, we are having less than 100 people for the agency. More or less, by today, 30 people are compromising one way or the other. Here are the different aspects of the agency. The main definition is that it's an agency of Science Ministry and Defense Ministry. This is really new, and it's a complexity for the agency, but the president of the government wanted everything together, all together in a space institution, is the agency. The agency is lasting, someone told me, 100 years. So during the 100 years of the agency, nowadays we are in the initial oscillation. Okay, so don't trust if the agency is having issues, etc., because it's the beginning. In less than 4 months, we made an agency with 11 ministries. So this is a mess. I can tell you. Well, we started to make agreements with Mexico. We signed the NASA Artemis Accords. We participated the first time in the G20 space meeting. So, and in the Space Week in Seville, we made a lot of things as well. Okay, with the agency fostering the cooperation with the LATAM. And just to finish, the Latin constellation, this is an agreement we signed with Portugal and Spain. We are developing 16 satellites in 4 orbital planes. These are agile satellites that can maneuver, and you can assure in one point of the Earth a coverage, a revisit time of less than 3 hours. What's happening? That UK yesterday compromised with the Atlantic constellation. They want to enter as well, and Greece want to enter, and we are trying to put as well all the Latin countries. So maybe the Latin constellation in a few years' time will have 100 satellites or whatever. So it's a good idea. It started to be thought for ocean and land, but it seems that the capacity they have this constellation is more focused on emergencies and security. So we made a first meeting in February with users of the of the land, ocean, etc., coast. And second, we made in July another meeting with all the emergency and securities and the different policies. And we are setting up this. Of course, we don't have team, so we are a few people. This started that's fast. We finally asked to ESA to manage these things. Our team is today in ESTEC making this negotiation, and the ITT, it seems that next week will be issued. Will be 2 phases. The first phase will be only for 3 months, just 2 teams to finish in making the requirements and to see what is the best consortium. And second, one will be selected to deliver 8 satellites with a ground station. And that's all. Here is my email. Send me an email if you want to have anything. And 21 minutes. Sorry for the delay.